You hate money and don't even know it. That probably sounds insane, right? You work hard. You want more money. Then why does it feel like you're always chasing it and never catching it? Why do you get anxious when you check your bank account? Why does money disappear the second it shows up? What if it's not bad luck or poor planning, but something you believe about money? Something you're not even aware of. If you stay until the end of this video, you're going to see your relationship with money in a way no one's ever shown you. But let me be clear, this video is not for everyone. Most people will scroll away, but if you're still here, something in you already knows. This is personal. You say you want more money. You work harder, take on extra hours, even try to learn how to manage your finances better. But at the end of the month, there's nothing left. Worse, sometimes you don't even know where it all went, and that's where the war begins. Because on the surface, you think you love money, but deep down you might associate it with pressure, or guilt, or judgment. You crave more, but feel uneasy when it comes. There's a voice inside you, almost silent, whispering, "You're not the kind of person who has a lot. Money changes people. If I have too much, something bad will happen." So you earn it, but push it away. You attract it, then avoid it. You hold it, and then sabotage it. The scariest part? You don't realize it's happening. It feels logical, responsible, even normal, but the patterns never change, and the cycle repeats. This isn't just about poor money habits or weak discipline. It's something deeper than willpower, something emotional, something invisible, and until you see it, you can't change it. But where does all this come from? That's what we're about to uncover. It starts in childhood. Long before you earned your first dollar, you didn't choose your beliefs about money. You absorbed them. Quietly, slowly, repeatedly. Every time your parents said, "We can't afford that," every time they fought about bills, every time you saw stress, fear, or silence around money, you learned something. Maybe you learned that money disappears as fast as it comes. Maybe you linked money to arguments, tension, limitations. Maybe you believed that wanting it made you selfish, or that people with money were greedy, cold, or dishonest. These messages didn't come with manuals or warnings. They were emotions. You felt them more than you heard them. So even now, as an adult, you might be repeating these scripts, word for word, fear for fear. Even if your lifestyle is different, your financial patterns stay the same. Because your mind isn't just trying to get rich, it's trying to stay safe. And anything that feels unfamiliar, like abundance, ease, stability, might trigger discomfort, so you protect yourself the only way you know how, by keeping money away, not consciously, but emotionally. This isn't weakness, it's programming, and most people never question it. But whoever wrote that script doesn't get to keep directing your life, unless you let them. Sometimes, the problem isn't what you believe about money, it's what you feel when you get close to it. For some, it's shame. Shame for wanting more than others. Shame for having less than you think you should. Shame for not doing better, even when you're trying your best. For others, it's fear. Fear of having money and losing it. Fear of becoming someone different. Fear that success will come with pressure, expectations, isolation, and then there's control. Maybe money was used as a weapon in your childhood. Maybe it was something that gave one person power and left others helpless. So now, even when you get money, it doesn't feel like freedom. It feels like pressure, weight, danger. You think you're bad with money, but deep down, money feels bad to you. This emotional charge creates friction every time you try to grow financially. You want it, but you also want to protect yourself from it. This battle plays out quietly in your daily choices: how much you save, what you avoid, who you trust, what you believe you deserve. And if you don't decode what money has come to mean to you emotionally, it'll always feel just out of reach. But this internal conflict has another side, one you've probably never connected before. You're not lazy. You're not irresponsible. You're protecting yourself. Self-sabotage isn't random. It's survival. Every time you say, "I'll deal with my finances later," every time you avoid looking at your account, every time you overspend when you're already stressed, it's not a lack of discipline. It's a pattern meant to keep you emotionally safe, because holding money, managing money, growing money, all of that triggers the emotional weight you've been carrying in silence. So your brain finds ways to push it away. Quick fixes, distractions. You undercharge for your services. You give more than you realistically can. You avoid asking for the raise. And to the outside world, it just looks like you don't know how to manage money. But what's really happening is deeper. You're rejecting what challenges your identity, because accepting abundance would force you to become someone new. And that's terrifying. It's not about how much money you make. It's about what you believe you can hold on to. When your self-image doesn't match the version of you who handles abundance with confidence, you'll unconsciously burn it all down. That's the real enemy. Not money, but the unhealed part of you that doesn't believe you're allowed to have it. But what happens when your identity and your goals start pulling in opposite directions? You say you want more freedom, more options, more peace of mind. But deep down, does being wealthy fit with how you see yourself? When you picture yourself with money, real, sustainable wealth, do you feel calm or fake, expansive or guilty? This is the quiet war between identity and ambition. You can say affirmations and read financial books, but how you see yourself will always win. If you were raised believing that people like us don't live like that, you will sabotage anything that proves that belief wrong until you change. You're not fighting numbers. You're fighting a version of yourself that was never shown what's possible. And no spreadsheet can fix that. But understanding this internal friction, this invisible divide between want and worth, is where real financial transformation begins. And the next step is rewriting the story you were handed. If your current money story was written by fear, shame, or scarcity, you can rewrite it. You just haven't been told how. No one teaches us to question our financial identity. We learn numbers, never meaning, budgets, but not beliefs. And so the cycle continues. But here's the truth. You cannot out-earn a broken money story. You must change the story before you change the outcome. Start simple. Write down the first memories you have about money. What was said? Who had power? What emotions did you feel? Now ask yourself, are you still living within those emotional walls? Then write something new, a different narrative, one where money isn't danger, but choice, one where money isn't shame, but freedom, one where you don't chase money, because money flows where you've made it safe to stay. You have the power to reprogram what wealth means, energetically, emotionally, even spiritually. Just like any story, a money story can be edited, not overnight, not with one video, but it begins with awareness. From that awareness comes clarity, and through clarity comes possibility. And maybe for the first time you can ask yourself, what if I stopped running from money and started building a relationship with it? Because the old story already taught you how to stay broke, but the new one, that one can set you free. So what does it really mean to hate money? It doesn't mean you walk around shouting, I hate money. It means you've tied money to pain, to moments you never healed from, to people who made you feel small and used money to do it. You don't hate money. You hate what it represented in your life. Control, neglect, silence, stress, inequality. You hate the feeling of never having enough and what that did to your self-worth. But here's the shift. Money isn't the villain. It's a mirror. And for so long, it was reflecting wounds you weren't ready to face. Now, you are. You're no longer ignoring the pattern. You're watching yourself wake up from it. And from that place, money can become what it truly is. A tool, a neutral one, powered by the meaning you decide to give it next. You've spent years fighting something that was never the enemy. Money wasn't against you. It was only reflecting what you believed about yourself. Now, you know better. You're not cursed with bad luck or poor habits. You were protecting yourself from beliefs, stories, and meanings that were never truly yours. And now, you finally see it. This is your turning point. You can choose to keep those old patterns, or you can rewrite every chapter from here forward with clarity, with ownership, with intention, because the question was never, am I good with money? The question was always, have I made peace with it? And if you've made it this far, thank you. Most people don't, but that's what makes you different. You're ready to go deeper, and we're just getting started. Watch the next videos here on the Money Psychology Hub, and let's keep rewriting your story together.